like that. It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
S-T-R-O. Yeah. How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they asking my name, huh? You ready? S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Yeah. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. Yeah. I can't spend the day with you. I'm out in my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Check 26. Check 26. Check. Check 3. Check 3. Check 3. Check. Shoot. Check.
They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. This is West. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Play action now. Cousins. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, 81 yards. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Malcolm Jenkins, the strong safety, swoops in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit him with a screen.
And the pressure gets to him again. Derek Barnett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Play fake. Cousins. He's going to look deep for Watkins. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll get this inside of Philly's 20 before being taken down. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 70 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. They'll run it with West. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the Eagles' 15-yard line.
Check the backer. Bang, 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 bang. Lynch 50, Lynch 50.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Flushed out right. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kelvin Benjamin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, they got the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
You got tight. You got tight. Hey, empty. Bus.
On 2nd and inches, Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you...
It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good... And oh, it's blocked. And the Vikings have got it. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. But he is finally run down. Would have been 2 if he'd made it all the way, but instead, simply a missed extra point.
We have seen some exciting returns of blocked extra points. This one doesn't quite get into that level, but there had to be an anxious moment after it was blocked, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think sometimes they still forget on both sides when that block comes on a PAT that you can return it for 2. He got it across midfield there, just not close to the end zone.
Yeah, you noted that moment of hesitancy, didn't you? You know, it's blocked. It's like, oh, yeah, that's right. It can be returned, and which means you have to get back and tackle him, too.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22.
51 the mic, boy, 51.
They go play action. Cousins. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10.
Kill.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
Watch it slap.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Let's go.
Hey, seam 6.
Cousins to throw it. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Derek Barnett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. 2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here's Cousins. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points. Well, later tonight, we have more football, Sunday night football, a good one out west. Steelers and Chargers might see equal amounts of black and gold mixed with a powder blue. And there's nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vic Beasley making it look easy, cruising in for the sack.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wentz, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz going to throw. Right side caught by Jackson. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking for White on the deep ball. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there for Minnesota. 47 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll run on 1st down. It's West. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Malik Jackson there to make the stop.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
51's Mike. Mike 51.
On 2nd down, it's West. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
Oh, yeah!
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4.
49, check 49, check 49.
Check! Pick the edge. Come.
Rhino.
Under crunch. Check safety.
On the toss, there goes West. Oh, and now West lost the football. It's out, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And you know in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
Leave it, 48.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Cousins. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Come on, come get some. Come on, come get some.
Cousins now from the 50. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. On play action, Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Here's Matt Weil now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. With it is Jackson. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And the Eagles are in for 6.
Great job. Touchdown.
And you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts. That's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. But it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Third and long for Cousins. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Derek Barnett in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Matt Wild now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Jackson. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jackson. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now Wentz. Deep ball for Jeffrey. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wentz caught by the tight end Ertz. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the red zone now, Wentz. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. What a spin. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That one good for 26 and a first down. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now West. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
He's going to go deep for Funchess. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Zebra. Mike, 53.
On 3rd down, Cousins going deep here for one. And got his man complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent gain, 35 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Throwing, Cousins. There goes a deep ball. And this is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Sammy Watkins His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Mike Zimmer's made the decision. His guys will go for 2.
You got nothing.
They'll try and run it here. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike. Hughes. Following the interception, Cousins. He's going to go deep for Funchess. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
He's crashing. Flag. Alert flag.
Cousins again. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
16 yards on the play as they try to chip away at this 16-point deficit.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Throw left side complete. That's West. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A A big-time return there, 40 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On first down, they run with Howard. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play. On second down now, it's Howard, and he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. But he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 63 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Now Cousins. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. A very pivotal 2-point try that does not go their way now. It's a big uphill battle for the rest of the 4th quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a one-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, and now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it, still down 10.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Here we go. Run.
On first down, Howard. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by...
Now Howard stripped. He lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll start out on the ground with Sproles. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
So the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games but only led the Vikes to just one fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. On 2nd and 10, Cousins. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. A first down throw for Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Escapes the sack. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, receiver.
And the blitz does come. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed race.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Derek Barnett and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going to throw deep. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Cousins. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Not that time for Watkins, but it's going to be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw, there's Cousins. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. First down, a run with Smallwood. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Play fake. Cousins. And now he'll turn, and off his back foot, he'll heave. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Sammy Watkins with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
You got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late, that they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. 280. Hey, empty.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Howard. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Howard. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Go. 280. 55. Hey, Lou.
Back to throw. Wentz. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
Fielded just inside the 20. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, Zoo. Mike 51, Mike 51.
Play action now. Cousins. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. Watkins, the intended receiver. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Touch, 120. Check 55 to Mike. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Eagles, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah.